the sun, but I ride on my core. This is the moment you're meant to know.
Well, hello there, sunflowers, and how are you guys today? Well, first off, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying your Thanksgiving if you celebrate this holiday. However, it is actually a great day to be doing this reading on Cardi B today, which is hopefully you can tell just a little bit. I tried to dress up for the Patriots in celebration for Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. So because of that, there's a lot to be thankful. One thing is the fact that Cardi B has welcomed a healthy baby boy into the world, which is great for her. Congratulations for Stefon Diggs and Cardi B on that. I've wished them happy things before, but now we're seeing pictures of them, as you see on this camera, as you see right here. Pitch Beautiful pictures. Honestly, it's glad to see that even though Cardi B's in this messy divorce with her soon to be ex-husband Offset, Stefon Diggs is standing strong by Cardi B's side and was there for the pregnancy and is down for the child. And also apparently Cardi B is saying that Stefon Diggs is indeed the father of the child, and it's not Offset, even though she's still legally married and hasn't been divorced. So when we was all talking about, well, Offset's still technically the child and how messy and chaotic that's still going to be, we still see Stefon Diggs is standing strong. And that's exactly one reason why I'm here today, because on this thankful, tremendous day, I just have to be quite curious, actually. Is Stefon Diggs here to stay for good now that the child's here? Because we know, let's take the rose-colored glasses off, we know Stefon Diggs has a bit of a reputation, and this isn't like his first or his second or his third child out there that he has with women's. So because of that, you got to think about it. Is he just in it for the moment, this very moment with Cardi B, and it's not like it's here to last, or is it something that was divinely fated? Because if you guys see in this video right here that I'm about to play for you, which is very interesting, we see 2 years ago, that is Stefon Diggs, New York Fashion Week 2023. Stefon Diggs was literally sitting right next to Offset and then Cardi B. So because of that, 2 years ago, think about how weird that is. Just 2 years ago, they knew nothing of each other. They never even talked. As you see in this video, as I will play again, she wasn't giving him any play. He wasn't giving her any play. It's like two complete strangers. And here they are welcoming a child together. That could be divinely fated in time. So I'm like, who knows? Maybe this is a different story with him and Cardi B. That's I got to figure out and ask the cards. But however, there is some sad news or weird, questionable news that I have to bring to you, because there is the word out there that Offset, according to a Instagram model named Jordan, wow, I forget her name. Hold up, it's right here. Jordan Gore, sorry. According to a Instagram model named Jordan Gore, she is saying that Offset was allegedly texting her to like leak the address or location where Stefon Diggs is, so Offset can set somebody up to go jump him, do something, set Stefon Diggs up, basically. And as we'll see here, and I will, since my phone's right here, it will be easier instead of reading off the screen. I will read the text to you right here, what she's allegedly claiming Offset had sent her. So, of course, we see this must be her saying congratulations on the album, cheering him on. He's like, thanks. And then he's like, where you at? And then he said, texted her saying, op a ninja. Sorry. And then he says, give drop or don't come back around. And then she's texting saying, make sure I'm nowhere near. And he's like, now, question mark. And she like, delete these texts. And he said, Finsta, now, send message. Then he said, yo. And then she said, what you doing? He like, in my room. And then she's like, call me, all that. And she said these messages. She said, Offset, keep violating me, but stay in my phone asking me to help him set up Stefon. Please. Super tender shrimp. I'm not sure what that shrimp was supposed to mean, but allegedly, this is her claiming that Offset has been texting her, apparently using her. She's like, boy, if you keep playing with me, I will expose her. You've been trying to get Stefon Diggs set up because you still jealous and still tripping over Cardi B. Listen, I don't know how true that is. You see these texts right here, but these texts were just so... I don't even see where he's trying to set up Stefon Diggs. Not once did I see Stefon Diggs' name even mentioned when what I just read. So I can't even put two and two together. I don't even know how that was supposed to correlate. But I digress. That's what she's claiming. Grasping for straws, may you say so. But that's another thing that I'm also wanting to be curious about when it comes to Stefon Diggs and Cardi B, because there seems to be a lot going on with their relationship. She's got this messy divorce and possibly her estranged ex-husband trying to like set up her current new boyfriend / baby daddy, but then people are thinking that she might be getting married to Stefon Diggs or something like that. I don't know. There's a lot out there and a lot of rumors. So I'm just here to find out. And I'm here to pull some cards to figure out what's going on with Cardi B and Stefon Diggs and their energy now that the baby's here. Now that she's finally had this child. Let's see. Let's see what's going on with her and Stefon Diggs, because look at this. They look like a beautiful couple. I was questioning it at first, but the energy and vibes that they're giving off, these photos, I could get behind this kind of energy, this loving, supportive energy. But then you got to remember, it's not like it's his first child either. So, maybe he's like that with every new baby mama. But hey, like I said, it could be different with them. Divinely fated 2 years ago. He was sitting right next to Cardi B, his future to be baby mama, and they didn't even know it. Isn't it weird and strange how life works out like that? You just floating in each other's circles, don't even know each other. And then one day you guys just happen to click or happen to stumble upon each other's paths literally, and you just align. I'm just saying it's like that. People that are usually in the outer orbits come into your inner orbits. It gets shaken up like that sometimes. So let's see. Cardi B and Offset. Well, the first card that came out, which I love, is the Ace of Pentacles. And I just recently learned that the Ace of Pentacles symbolizes pregnancy. Now, we know Cardi B just recently gave birth. So the fact that she now has had this pregnancy and is on this new journey of being a mother for a fourth time. But how is she embarking on this new journey with Stefon Diggs at this very moment? Because everything is new in a sense, new for them and new for what they're feeling for each other. So let's just see what's at this foundation, what's at this root of the Ace of Pentacles that it's sprouting from. I could believe that the Son of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles, which also symbolizes a child, pregnancy. But also I learned what I really like about this deck and this card particular is that usually the Son of Pentacles or the Page of Pentacles is somebody who is awkward and is trying to find their bearings. And that could be exactly how Cardi B is feeling in this time and period. And maybe Stefon Diggs too. I'm looking at it from more Cardi B because I know her and energy and I'm more familiar with her, but just since she's the mother and she's like the empress and that giving a bountiful energy, I just see when it comes to Cardi B, she's in this awkward phase in her life where everything is new, it's fresh. She's doing things that feels unnatural and from her old grain, because she has been so used to doing one thing a certain way because she's been with Offset, and now that she finally outside, she acting up in a sense, and you could say that, but it's all in a growing pain essentially, because this is a pain, and what she's going through, Stefon Diggs is helping her soothe that sort of energy. Not only could I see that with Stefon Diggs here, but also she has said it herself that Stefon, and I didn't believe it at first, but these cards seems to be saying it proves so that Stefon Diggs has somehow healed something within her during this awkward phase. And that's where all this love and energy that they've had for each other, or she has for Stefon Diggs, I'm not sure if it's quite reciprocated yet, but the love that she has for Stefon Diggs has produced a baby, basically. So let's see what's above her head. Where's this energy growing and blossoming into? The Wheel of Fortune. I could also believe that, which is exactly seeing where things are going at this very moment. It's up in the air. The Wheel of Fortune. I mean, I said it was divinely fated and divinely timed. So I could see that even now, everything, even down to this child, everything just seems to be falling in place as it should be. And they are following accordingly how they were supposed to. But I see here also it's like her taking a chance. It's not like the Fool where you're just like jumping off and you don't know what you're getting yourself into, but it's more like being a fool in the sense of you're allowing, instead of trying to take control, you take like, how do they say it? When you like have your hand on the reins and you gotta like let go of the reins, that's exactly what Cardi B is doing. She's allowing life to take over and take control rather than her trying to control her life. So wherever it takes her, wherever it leads, she's like, this is where I need to be and this is what needs to be happening. So she's taking it from that aspect, as in everything is folding out as it needs to and as it should be. So let's see where she's coming from and their relationships coming from in the past. First off, speaking of the Ace of Pentacles, everything here is literally pentacles. Out of four cards, everything is pentacles, 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 pentacles down. So because of that, we see in the past is the 10 of Pentacles, where that's where Cardi B was coming from, and maybe Stefon Diggs too, because even then during the time, they both have respectable careers and they both happen to meet each other at a particular time. Like the Wheel of Fortune is saying, they happen to both meet each other at a particular time in their careers. Cardi B, she's not quite at the pinnacle of her career, but she's tried to get everything, like she has the children and she had the almost perfect husband. She had a wobbly marriage altogether, but she still kind of had it all together. She made it appear as if she had it all together, even though it was weighing her down. So because of that, it was that appearance of trying to keep up that legacy. But more importantly, Cardi B had to finally take it within herself that the legacy that she's going to have to leave behind is going to have to start with herself, in whatever, no matter who the man is. I mean, it would be great if it was Stefon Diggs in this case, but whoever the man should be, Cardi B is feeling the sense of that she's learned what it's like to feel unfulfilled in life, and she's going to go out there and get what she wants, and she's no longer going to settle for less than what she wants, because the 10 of Pentacles says that she is worth every single dime, penny. You know, like they say, she knows she is exactly who she thinks she is. So because of that, that's the attitude that Cardi B has attained for herself. So because of that, that's the new approach that she's going out there. And Stefon Diggs just happens to match her with that energy, because he too is feeling that sort of vibration and energy where he's coming from with his football career. Yeah, he recently just overcame an injury that put him out for a couple of games before he came back, but now he's back to playing the game. So because of all that, he had some things that maybe made him think about what to do and what might need to happen, if he might need to start settling down in life and not always rely on his ball career. So because of that, football career. not that ball career, but so he just doesn't want to mess up his ball career, and he's just like, well, if something does happen, is there somebody I'm willing to settle down with? Is there, because he's like a miniature version of Nick Cannon, and he's gonna have to, if he doesn't want to become a Nick Cannon, he's gonna eventually have to find a stopping point, and hopefully Cardi B is that stopping point for him. And that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out here in these cards, and that's exactly what this future card's going to pull, because this sounds good so far. It sounds like the buildings, the makings, the puzzle pieces coming together of a relationship. It's awkward, yeah, it's different. You feel awkward and out of place. He feels awkward and out of place. And then together you guys feel awkward and out of place, but you work through it together anyway, because there's something there and special that you want to work on. So therefore, or also it could just be, there's just something that you just makes you want to look outside of yourself and outside of what you're used to, or outside of your comfort zone, because there's just something opening up within your eyes in this divinely time that you just happen to be needing to be here at this place at this time, going through this thing to meet this person. Sorry, those are the circumstances, but sometimes it's just like that. So let's just figure out what the future says for them ultimately. We have the Hangman. Now, I'm curious if that Hangman is going to get reserved, as in the sense that they're going to take their relationship and really put it in the back burner, in the back seats and out of the limelight, now that she has had her child, now that they have shown that they've had a little bit of love for each other. And even though they're going through all that they're going through, maybe they'll take a time and step back and put their relationship outside of the public eye. Maybe it's not going to be due to what people and the backlash that they're getting, but it could just be for the fact that it's something that they need to do in order to protect their relationship. They feel as though there could be all these negative outside forces that I'm going to check out and read out that's going to tell them that maybe they should start being a little bit more protective and guarding of their energy. But also the Hangman could symbolize that there could be some thinkings and some changes that could bring confusion, some changes that are addressing confusion. But it's definitely a thinking card. Sometimes delusional, but it's all about thinking about where the next steps are going. And that next step for Cardi B and Offset doesn't seem entirely clear according to the cards. But that's exactly why I'm going to have to pull these outside forces to find out. Okay. Ooh, cards are slipping. All right. Oh my God. I love that. Oh, that's actually really beautiful. Okay. So what I see here in the past for their outside influences when it comes to Cardi B and Offset in this relationship that they had, there was this sort of outside energy of a man, Offset, but there is some sort of masculine energy outside of them that's trying to come within of their happiness in the past. Or maybe it could have been, like I said, Cardi B was living her life, doing her thing, and then suddenly the man, Stefon Diggs, starts to come in while she's in that transitioning period, because we see the moon card, which is right here at the bottom. The moon is all about transitions and about phases and cycles ending, closing of old chapters and new chapters beginning. That's all about what the moon is. And that's perfect for the 10 of Pentacles. One chapter closing with Offset and a new chapter starting with this man, which is Stefon Diggs. That's the past. And then, like I said, here in the present, where they very much are, the Wheel of Fortune, divine timing, Ace of Pentacles has led a child to come into this earth because of the energy that they have cultivated, that Cardi B and Stefon Diggs have cultivated with each other. And then down below, even though it's awkward, even though it's a bit out of place, even though it might even feel a bit rushed, a bit unstable, a bit uneasy, there's still something there that they're working and trying to grow and prosper, because there's this Ace of Pentacles, which shows and symbolizes that there still is some sort of potential growth from this awkward stage. You just got to get past the awkward stage. Like I said, the growing pains. And then we see here in the future, even though I was a bit confused about this hangman, because I'm just like, what's this illusion that I'm kind of seeing? The gray mouse didn't make it any more clear, because the gray mouse is exactly what would be the hangman card would be, which symbolizes, like I said, unclarity, a bit delusional, not quite sure where they're going to go. So that's why you need to do yourself and hang yourself upside down. Yes, that's a great thing to do if you want a different perspective, but it also, with too many different perspectives, it's a bit confusing. But it's not quite the Seven of Cups where you have too many options and possibilities that you get too confused. No, the hangman is more along the lines of you are looking within yourself and exploring within yourself, that you're getting a little bit lost, that you need to take a time out, a separation, protect yourself rather than do something when you're not quite sure and quite clear. And that's exactly what I see here with this gray mouse, which usually symbolizes a bit murkiness, but it can also symbolize adaptability, stealth, and intuition, which is exactly what I see Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are working through. Their intuition, working on what works for them, what doesn't work through them, working through the kinks. And that too isn't a fun park or a picnic or a walk through. That's not a walk through the park. And then there's something about a picnic. But then we see here a ring. Now, I'm not sure if that means if he likes it, he gonna put a ring on it, or if that means a ring as in that they're definitely going to be committed to each other, and that this baby is just the first step forward to that commitment that Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are going to have. Maybe he's like, well, maybe if I can't put a ring on it now because you're still legally married, then let's have a child. Let's somehow formally cultivate a way for this love that we have for each other. You know, I'm just thinking of all these different ways, but I'm just going to pull 3 cards. 3 cards as a final outcome for Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. This is looking all good, but we're still left with the hangman, which is still a big, huge question mark. And that's exactly what their future symbolizes. So I'm just going to have to pick 3 cards to symbolize the outcome for Cardi B and Offset. So because this card fell out first, I'll put that here. And then this technically would have been the middle card. And then this technically would have been the bottom card. I'm a bit confused. I see why this hangman card was here, because this hangman has the thief attached to it. And that's the only no card, essentially. But there's 2 yes cards, which is air and the bridge, which is very great because the hangman, even though that's ruled by a water sign, Pisces, because it's Neptune, the air is a perfect symbolization because air needs water. So you need that balance, that nice mixture, or else you'll just have dry air. So having some moist air allows, like, think about like a humid environment that gets misty, gets foggy. So that's able to keep you misty. Those things can keep things alive. So it's an environment. So for having that kind of air, it's an environment that can keep life sustainable, which is exactly what I see here. Because like I said, there was a bunch of earth. So if a lot of earth, to keep earth moisturized and not dried out, you're going to need water, like the hangman showed. And then we see air here. So we got a nice combination. Now we may not have a fire card in here exactly, but I don't think we need fire. I think, yes, we need all 4 elements, but just looking at the cards of this balance, we have so much earth that the air, the little bit of air that is here and the little bit of water that is here, come together and work together to balance out the earth, where the fire would have burnt up maybe a little bit too much of one element because they're so unevenly balanced. So because of that, I feel like there is some sort of chemistry and some sort of balance when it comes to Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, where if they can work through all the strife, which I would see the fire, if they could just get through the the struggles that they got to get through. I could see that there could be some sort of future for them. But it's ultimately a journey and it's a bridge. We're not exactly sure where this bridge still is going to lead us to. So the cards are still telling me again with the hangman and then the bridge, it's up in the air really what's up for Stefon Diggs and Cardi B, but there is some potentiality for them to still be together in the future, but there's still a whole lot of energy and outside negative forces that's trying to come up against them, but they're still trying to work against it. And sometimes it can get brutal and I feel like they would really need a strength card in here to kind of combat that energy, but I digress. So I hope you enjoyed this reading on Cardi B and Stefon Diggs. I sure did. The sentiment that I pretty much walked away with is, now that the baby is here, is Stefon Diggs going to leave? Not quite sure. For this present moment, no. How many months or years down the line are we sure? I'm not quite sure about that. But for the present moment, no. In the future, that's a question mark. So with that being said, only time will play out and we will find out. After all, they are saying that we are in this period astrologically and energetically where they're just going to be things where things are just going to like make unforeseeable changes that like you just not like you're just gonna like one day wake up and you're just like gonna completely forget, like stop all like the bad habits that you wish you would have stopped. But it's like essentially everything that was once a struggle for you once not addressing and dealing with, those are going to finally come to the surface. And when you finally do address them, it's going to be like a sort of healing. And that healing is going to help you move forward and ultimately become a different, changed version of yourself. And you're not going to go back to that old version of yourself. And that's exactly what everybody's going to be going through. And that's exactly what I see Cardi B is starting to get a touch and feeling of right now. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure what it's going to be like in that future when that change happens. But for right now, Cardi B is starting to think and process about this. And I'm sure Offset. I'm sure Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are in the process of talking that out. And if they're not, it's all up in the air anyway. You can't prepare for those kinds of sorts of things. So with that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I sure did. It was very good and very positive outside of the future to come, but the present moment, great, Gucci, loved it. So with that being said, please give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and I will see you sunflowers on the next one. Enjoy this day, sunflowers.